right? I leave it for the students and hope that some of the students who watched the videos of thermodynamics, my course of thermodynamics, you will be able to get this explanation. Now what is the actual work? What is the turbine actual work? Turbine actual work will be this one, H3 minus H4 dash, we know from the steady flow energy equation, and turbine ideal work will be how much? H3 minus H4. H3 minus H4. Now there is a term again, that is isentropic efficiency. Isentropic efficiency. If we talk about the turbine, then isentropic efficiency of turbine, how you can write? We know that turbine, that efficiency is always less than 1. In this case, ideal is more than actual. So which is more, then that goes to the denominator. So the turbine ideal work which you want and turbine actual work which you got. So this is the isentropic efficiency of turbine, right? You can just think about it, how to write this formulas. Now the isentropic efficiency of turbine will be equal to, actual work is H3 minus H4 dash divided by ideal is H3 minus H4, and if it is a ideal gas, then you can write T3 minus T4 dash upon T3 minus T4. This is applicable for ideal gas only. You know all this, right? No need to explain it again and again. This is only for ideal gas. Now one thing more, that again this T3 by T4 you can write it as P3 by P4, same thing, gamma minus 1 upon gamma, but you cannot write T3 by T4 dash is equal to P3 by P4 raised to power gamma minus 1 upon gamma. Don't write this because this is not valid for a irreversible process. Only for reversible you can write this formula. I hope you got this, right? That what is the effect of pressure, what is the effect of irreversibility in the compressor and in the expansion process, right? Now if we say that because of this irreversibility, what is the effect on COP and other thing? We can say that now the net work will be equal to work required by the compressor actual cycle minus work done by the turbine actually. Work, right? So we can say that actually work required by the compressor is more and work produced by the turbine actual is less. We see that if this is more, this is less, then you can say that W net is increased, right? W net is increased. If we talk about COP, that is equal to refrigeration effect divided by W net. Refrigeration effect divided by W net. Now what is the refrigeration effect? Refrigeration effect, actual refrigeration effect will be equal to Cp into T1 minus T4 dash, right? Actual process is up to 4 dash only. So this is T1 minus T4 dash. So T4 dash is less than, you can see that T4 dash is less than T4, right? T4 dash is less than T4. So this T4 dash is less, is more than T4. T4 dash is more than T4. This T4 dash is more than this T4. If T4 dash is more, if this T4 dash increased because of irreversibility, this T4 dash increased. This T4 dash increased. So if there is a minus sign, then refrigeration effect of this cycle is decreased. So we say that because of the irreversibility, refrigeration effect decreases, W net increases, because of both of this, numerator is decreasing, denominator is increasing, then COP will decrease. So this is the effect of, I am not writing in that form, that sentence form, just because we are engineers, we know how to deal with the symbols, right? So because of the irreversibility, refrigerator effect decreasing, network which you have to supply increases, as a result COP will decrease. So this is all about the irreversibility associated with the adiabatic processes, with the compressor and with the turbine. Now, in some of the cases, in some of the question, you may get that the pressure is reducing. The pressure in the heat exchanger is reducing. Now, how to deal with it? I am rubbing this, right? We'll again draw the diagrams. Now, let us say if the pressure is reducing, I'm not going to explain each and everything, just how to draw the diagram I am saying. If you draw the diagram well, then you will be able to solve any question. Now, let me draw the diagram first. Right. Let us say this is P1 is equal to constant, let us say, and this is one second. This is P2 is equal to constant, right? This above line, let us say this is P2 is equal to constant. Okay. I am drawing the first, let me draw the ideal reversed Brayton cycle. So one is the straight line, P1 up to P1 we have to draw. Let us say this is P1. Okay, first of all let us say this is P1, so that you will not be able to, so that you will not confuse. Let us say this is P1. This line is P1 is equal to constant. This is the ideal reversed Brayton cycle. All the four processes are reversible and there is no loss. There is no loss, right? Let us say that. Suppose this is point 1 to 2, this is 3, this is 4, right? This is a reversed Brayton cycle, ideal, no losses. Now just start putting the losses of the cycle. First of all, let us put the your loss in the compressor and your turbine. Let us say because of the irreversibility in the compressor, the process is this one, 1 to 2 dash, and this is the turbine process. Let us say this point is 4 dash. Just make one thing clear. In the compressor, we are not compromising with the pressure ratio. We want the same pressure ratio as in the ideal case, in the actual case. If this pressure ratio is 5, we want the pressure ratio to be 5 only. So the pressure at point 2 and pressure at point 2 dash will be same. It will not reduce. It will not reduce, right? Similarly, in the turbine, the expansion will be for the same pressure ratio from P3 to P4 dash or P3 to P4. These are the same thing. It will not change. So in the compressor and in the turbine, don't change the pressure ratio. It will be same. That's why otherwise there is, if see one thing you just want to see that we say that if I talk only for compressor, turbine will be similar. If the compressor work, actual compressor work is more than the compressor ideal work, we are saying that the compressor actual work which we have to give is more than the compressor ideal work. Why this is so? Because we want the same pressure ratio as in the irreversible, right? In the reversible, suppose this P2 is 5 bar and this P1 is 1 bar. We want the same pressure ratio. If the process is irreversible also, we want the same pressure ratio. We don't want to compromise with the pressure ratio, right? Otherwise, if you say that from, let us say from point 1 to point 2, if you go with this process, reversible process, let us say 100 units of work is required to compress the air or gas from pressure P1 to P2. Now we are saying that because of this irreversibility, 20 units of work is lost to overcome the friction. Now if you are so rigid that no, I can only give 100 units, right? So out of this 100 units, because of irreversibility, 20 units will be lost, remaining will be 80 units. So the pressure now increased will be corresponds to the 80 units. So now this earlier this P2 is 5 bar. Now let us say because the work is less, now work left is less, only 80 units. If the work is 100 units, then the pressure is increased from 1 bar to 5 bar. Now the work is left is less, that is 80 units. Now let us say this pressure ratio will reach up to 4 bar, right? P2 is 4 bar. So that we don't want, we want only 5 bar. So we can say that now we are giving 120 units because of irreversibility. Out of this 120, 20 units will be lost in overcoming the friction, remaining will be 100 units, and because of this 100 units we are getting P2 is equal to 5 bar. This is the whole concept of compressor and turbine. We don't want to compromise with the pressure ratios. We want the same pressure ratio as in the reversible case. So in the compressor and turbine there is no loss of the pressure. Now we can say that pressure is lost in the heat exchange process. Let us say in the 2 to 3 process pressure is lost. Let us say this line of pressure is P2 dash, and we can say that P2 dash is less than P2. P2 dash is less than P2. Now the process which is going like this, 2 to 3, right? Now the process which is going like this, 2 to 3, now it will go like 2 to 3 dash. Now, right, if I rub this, okay, I'll explain it in a better way. I'll rub it. We'll draw the process one by one so that you will be able to understand clearly. Now this process 2 to 3 which will become here, now the process will be like this. Now it is not a constant pressure process. Remember this thing, pressure is changed from P2 to P dash. Pressure is changed. Now let us say the 3 point will be here, somewhat here on this line, right? The P3 will be here, okay, on this line P2 dash. This line is P2 dash, okay. Now this point is 3 dash. This point is 3 dash, and I am writing that process 2 to 3 dash is only the heat rejection process. Heat rejection process. It is not a constant pressure process. Now this is not a constant pressure process. Now the pressure changes now from P2. At this point pressure is P2, and at this point pressure is P2 dash. So it is not a constant pressure process. It is just a simple polytropic process of heat rejection. Now where you reach? You reach to 3 dash. Now from 3 dash, if we go, now this is the important thing, this what I want to suggest, I want to tell. Now from 3 dash, see, the process will go one by one. First compression, then heat rejection, then turbine. Now the process must, if the cycle is reversible cycle, if the process is reversible, then process will go like this. Then process will go like this, right, from 3 dash to 4. Let us say this is P2, P1 is equal to constant line. But because of the irreversibility, now the process will be this one, 3 dash to 4 dash. Because of irreversibility, the process will be 3 dash to 4 dash. Now we can say that the process now will be 3 dash to 4 dash in case of irreversibility associated. Now in process 4 to 1, the process, if it is a constant 4 dash to 1, let us say, if the process is a ideal process, that is a constant pressure process, then it will be 4 dash to 1. But now we can say that its pressure is reduced. So let us say this pressure line, this pressure line is P1 dash, let us say, is equal to constant, and we can say P1 dash is less than P1. Now the pressure is reduced from point, just pay attention guys, from point 4 dash, now we have to go to point 1, that is constant pressure heat addition. If it is a reversible, no losses, then the process will be this 4 dash to 1. But if it is a irreversible, then the pressure is reduced. So let us say the pressure is reduced up to P1 dash. Now the process will be like this. Now the process will be like this. One second. Now the process will be like this, right? Some random process will be like this. It is not a constant pressure, it is only a 1 dash, right? So now the pressure is your this 1 dash, right? 1 dash. Now if you take the initial point for both of them as a same, then just because we want it to be more clear, if I take this as a same, so it will be this one. If I extend this up to P1 dash, right, and this will go like this, P2 dash. So this is the cycle. Actual cycle is this one. So we can say, let us say this is point 1. So point 1, 2, 3, 4 is ideal cycle. If all the losses are covered, now the just important point is I am considering the initial point of both of the cycle to be same, right? It will be given in the question. I am assuming that initial points are same. So 1, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash are the actual cycle. In this 1, 2 dash adiabatic compression, 3 dash, 4 dash adiabatic expansion, 4 dash, 1 dash, 1 heat supply, 2 dash, 3 dash heat rejection. These process of heat rejections are not constant pressure heat addition or rejection, but these are the adiabatic process. So this is the diagram. I hope you understand, right? This line is P1 is equal to constant. This line, right? P1 is equal to constant. This is P1 dash is equal to constant. I make my point clear, right? I take initial point of both of them are same. So if the compressor is up to P2 we want, so this is P2, 1 to 2 reversible adiabatic, 1 to 2 dash irreversible adiabatic, 2 dash to 3 same pressure ratio, constant pressure heat addition, but 2 dash to 3 dash heat addition, heat rejection but not constant pressure drop. Here how much pressure drop? P3 minus P3 dash. This much pressure drop. Here how much pressure drop? P1 minus P1 dash. This much pressure drops. It will given in the question how much pressure is dropped, right? So I hope this thing is clear to you, right? Now you just write correctly. What is the compressor work? If I talk about actual compressor work, how much? H2 dash minus H1. Compressor work ideal, how much? H2 minus H1. Just see the pressures. Here the pressure is P1 dash. Here the pressure is P2, right? What is heat supply? Heat supply will be, actual cycle is how much? 2 dash to 3 dash. Actual cycle is 2 dash to 3 dash. So this will be heat rejection. Heat rejection will be equal to H2 dash minus H3 dash. Right, heat rejection H2 dash, because now the process is this one, now the process is from 3 dash to 2 dash, this one. This is the heat rejection process, right? This is the heat rejection process. Okay. These black lines show the constant pressure lines. Red line shows the actual cycle. Now, how much is the turbine work? Turbine, actual. How much is the actual work? Actual work is H3 dash minus H4 dash. H3 dash minus H4 dash. What is the turbine work ideal? How much? Ideal is H3 dash minus H4. What is the refrigerating effect? H1 minus H4 dash. Refrigerating effect is H1 minus H4 dash. Simple equations, right? Consider this. So you will be able to solve any type of question on this, any type of question on the Brayton cycle. If you are good with these concepts, how to draw the diagram and what are the various pressure ratios, how to write the steady flow energy equation and so on. If you are okay with it, then there should not be any problem for you to solve any question on the reverse Brayton cycle. We'll see some of the good question of the reverse Brayton cycle in our following discussions.